6 lucky numbers to win big and get rich on 14th. June 2025 Buddhist teachings. What if luck wasn't just about chance, but about energy, timing, and inner alignment? As we approach June 14th, 2025, a date pulsing with subtle but powerful vibrations, the universe seems to be offering gentle clues hidden in numbers, wrapped in meaning, and rooted in ancient wisdom. In this special episode, we explore 6 powerful numbers that are more than symbols of fortune. They are mirrors for your inner journey. Backed by Buddhist philosophy and timeless spiritual insight, these numbers carry lessons of healing, transformation, and prosperity. Whether you're seeking a breakthrough, a sign, or simply a deeper sense of clarity, this may be exactly what you need to hear. Let's begin this journey of wisdom not just to chase riches, but to awaken the wealth already waiting within you. 1. Number 25. As we stand at the threshold of mid-2025, a quiet but undeniable energy is beginning to unfold, a gentle current of change that can be felt, not just seen. At the heart of this energetic shift lies a profound number. 44. More than a number, it is a spiritual symbol, a master key known in numerology as the master healer. The number 4 alone represents structure, grounding, and protective strength. When doubled to 44, it becomes a fortress of inner balance and enduring resilience. In Buddhist thought, this reflects the path of right effort, one of the core elements of the Noble Eightfold Path, which teaches us that persistent, focused energy leads to transformation not through force, but through inner alignment. Like the strong roots of a tree that hold firm, even in the fiercest wind, the presence of 44 is here to remind us that true strength is quiet, steady, and unshakable. Throughout the ages, mystics like Nostradamus and Vanga recognized the reappearance of 44 during pivotal global and personal shifts, a number that seems to appear when humanity is being nudged gently toward awakening and healing. In these early days of June, as spring gives way to summer, life is whispering an invitation to release what no longer serves us and to step into a more purposeful, clear-hearted path. As Zen Master Dogen once said, "A flower falls, even though we love it. A weed grows, even though we do not love it." Life is always moving, so must we. Embracing the energy of 44 can begin with the simplest practice, a few minutes of quiet each day, letting your breath slow, and visualizing the number 44 glowing gently before you, like a guardian of inner peace. Let it settle you, let it root you. Let it be a reminder that healing is a noble act of self-love, not weakness. The beauty of transformation lies in its subtle tide, often comes not with fireworks, but with quiet resolve. And in that stillness, we find truth. Commenting, "I am grounded, I embrace healing," may seem small, but in the realm of intention, even the smallest act is powerful. The Buddha taught, what we think, we become. What we feel, we attract. What we imagine, we create. This isn't about blind luck, it's about alignment, about tuning your inner frequency to match the quiet wisdom of the universe. So if the number 44 calls to you, let it. Trust that you are being guided not by fantasy, but by the calm strength already within you. With every breath, every step, you walk alongside a cosmic energy that seeks to help you create peace, prosperity, and healing from the inside out. 2. Number 27. Let's take a deeper look at the number 27, not just as a lucky number, but as a spiritual signal waiting to be understood. Think of it like this. You're walking alone on a quiet path, and there's a subtle feeling in the air. Not fear, not pressure, but a kind of sacred stillness, like the world is holding its breath. That's when 27 starts showing up, not just on clocks or receipts, but in your thoughts, your dreams, your quiet moments. As we approach the powerful date of June 14th, 2025, 27 becomes more than a coincidence, it becomes a sacred companion. It's not just a number, it's a message, a reminder that something inside you is ready to shift. In Buddhist teachings, this moment reflects the middle way, the space between extremes, where true peace and clarity are found. Are you rushing through life hoping for a dramatic change, or are you ready to quietly align with your deeper truth? 27 doesn't scream for attention, it whispers, urging you to trust the quiet power that already lives inside you. It's the number of the grounded dreamer, the one who's suffered, healed, and is now prepared to walk forward with grace, not needing validation from the world, but guided by wisdom earned through living. Why does this number show up when it does? Maybe it's because life knows when you're ready even if you don't. 27 appears when your spirit is mature enough to choose growth over comfort, when you've outgrown the habits and stories that once kept you safe but now keep you small. So ask yourself, right now, what do I need to release? What am I still carrying that no longer belongs to the person I'm becoming? This isn't about chasing luck. It's about creating harmony with your truth, the kind of harmony that brings the right people, right moments, and right opportunities without force. In Buddhist thought, karma isn't about punishment or reward, but about balance and 27 signals that the scales are ready to shift if you are. The truth is, spiritual richness always comes before material gain. When your intentions are clean, your actions mindful, and your spirit grounded, luck doesn't feel like luck, it feels like alignment. On June 14th, 2025, take this number seriously. Observe it, feel it, meditate on it. Let it be your reminder to return to your center, to let go of what no longer supports your peace. Ask yourself daily, am I honoring the most honest version of myself today? Because when you start living from that place, your entire life begins to reflect it. And remember, this journey isn't over, yet the next number we explore holds a rare energy, one that could open doors within and beyond. Stay with me, stay curious, and let the teachings guide you. The lesson here is simple but powerful. When you choose inner clarity over outer chaos, the universe listens, and that's the real fortune. 3. Number 11. Let's talk about something powerful and subtle that might already be weaving itself into your life. The energy of the number 11. Have you ever glanced at the clock and seen 11, or noticed the number 11 popping up again and again in small, unexpected ways? That's not random, and it's not your imagination. It's a gentle nudge from the universe, a sign that something deeper is trying to catch your attention. As we approach June 14th, 2025, a time that carries heightened spiritual energy, the master number 11 becomes especially meaningful. In Buddhist philosophy, the first step on any journey is awareness. As the Buddha taught, with our thoughts, we make the world. So, what kind of world are your thoughts shaping right now? 11 doesn't shout, it whispers. It appears during moments of quiet clarity, like a soft breeze reminding you to pause, breathe, and notice. Have you been rushing through life, missing the small signs that guide you gently back to your path? This is the moment to slow down, to become present, and to listen not with your ears, but with your inner awareness. In the same way, a bell of mindfulness calls us back to ourselves in Zen practice, the presence of 11 asks us to trust what we feel, even before we can explain it. It invites you to tune into your intuition, that calm, steady voice within that often gets drowned out by noise and distraction. Think of 11 as a gateway, not to wishful thinking or superstition, but to spiritual clarity. It's aligned with insight and inner awakening, much like Uranus in astrology, a planet known for revealing truth in unexpected ways. Around this time, you may notice meaningful coincidences or synchronicities that feel like messages just for you. What if those moments aren't random, but sacred? What if life is speaking, and now you're finally quiet enough to hear? Instead of forcing answers, ask yourself, what truth have I been avoiding? What signs have I seen but dismissed? The lesson here is not to chase luck or riches through sheer force, but to align your life with your deepest truth, because from that place, real abundance flows naturally. As the Dhammapada reminds us, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. So let's think clearly, feel fully, and move gently. If the number 11 is showing up in your life, consider it a spiritual signal, a reminder that you are already on the path. Say it with me now, if it feels true in your heart. I trust my intuition. I'm open to the signs. This isn't just a mantra, it's a way of being. Let it guide you through this season, not with urgency, but with quiet, steady awareness. 4. Number 3. Number 3 carries with it the spirit of joyful expression, a rhythm of life that invites us not to perform, but to be. It's the vibration of laughter that escapes unexpectedly, the warmth that rushes through you when you're truly yourself, unguarded, unapologetic, and present. In Buddhist philosophy, this energy deeply mirrors the principle of right speech from the Noble Eightfold Path, not merely avoiding lies or harm, but speaking with honesty, purpose, and compassion. Number 3 does not ask you to be flawless, it asks you to be real. In today's world, where perfection is staged and comparison is constant, this number whispers something liberating. Let go of the masks. Your truth is enough. It reminds us that creativity is not a luxury, it's a spiritual act, a form of liberation. Just like the Buddha once said, there is no fire like passion, no shark like hatred, no snare like folly, no torrent like craving. The number 3 helps release that torrent. It opens the dam of suppressed self-expression, allowing you to replace fear with flow and silence with sincerity. Governed by Jupiter, the planet of growth and abundance, this number beckons you to expand, not by accumulating more, but by expressing more. Ask yourself now, what story are you not telling? What art are you waiting to share? What voice in you is still quiet, waiting for permission to speak? Give it space, let it rise. Because your authenticity is the gateway not only to inner peace, but also to outer prosperity. Don't wait for confidence. Confidence grows from doing. As Zen master Shunryu Suzuki once said, "You are perfect just as you are, and you could use a little improvement." That's the paradox. Number 3. Embraces imperfect, vibrant, fully alive. So let your heart speak, let your creativity move, and let this moment be your beginning. 5. Number 22. Let's take a moment to talk about a number that doesn't just appear in your life by chance. It arrives with purpose, with power, and with a quiet but unshakable calling. That number is 22, known as a master number, and it isn't here to pat you on the back or whisper soft encouragement. It's here to stir something deep within you. Think of it as the bridge between your biggest dreams and the steady discipline it takes to bring them to life. In the world of Buddhist teachings, intention alone doesn't lead to transformation, right? Action does. And that's what the energy of 22 is all about. It's not some floating idea waiting for the perfect moment. It's the sacred builder's number. It rolls up its sleeves, looks you in the eye, and says, "Let's start." As we step into June 2025, this energy is rising. The universe isn't asking you to wait for signs anymore. It's saying the signs are already here. So the real question is, are you ready to act on them? 22 is a unique balance of spiritual insight and grounded effort. Yes, meditate, reflect, seek clarity, but don't stop there. Carry that inner stillness into your decisions. Whether you're launching a new business, learning a craft, healing a relationship, or working toward financial peace, number 22 is your reminder that now is the time to build brick by brick, moment by moment, with patience and precision. The planetary energy right now supports this. Saturn brings focus and structure, and Venus, often mistaken for just love or pleasure, is actually reminding us that lasting beauty and abundance come from responsibility, vision, and staying true to your path, even when it's hard. So ask yourself this: what can I begin building today that truly reflects who I am, even if I don't feel ready? Don't wait for perfection. Begin with your honest self, with your fears, your dreams, and your willingness to grow. Number 22 doesn't promise instant wealth, but it offers a far greater treasure, a life built on strong, soulful foundations. That's the real fortune. The lesson here is clear: your potential is real, but it needs your hands, your effort, and your heart to shape it. So take that step, however small, and let your life reflect the wisdom you carry inside. And if this message resonated with you deeply, if it felt like a door just opened, then honor that moment. Supporting this space, whether through kind words or meaningful contributions, allows this energy to ripple out into the world. Let's build something lasting together. 6. Number 18. Let's take a deeper look at the number 18, because it may be just a number on the surface, but in the realm of Buddhist wisdom and spiritual insight, it carries a much deeper meaning that speaks directly to where you are in life right now. 18 is not loud or flashy. It's not about instant wealth or grand gestures. It's about the kind of quiet, enduring strength that moves like an undercurrent beneath all the noise. If lately you've been feeling stuck, like you're putting in all the effort, knocking on doors that never quite open, or walking paths that seem endlessly uphill, then 18 is not showing up by accident. It's showing up for you. This number holds the energy of perseverance and quiet resilience, the kind of power that's built when no one is clapping and no spotlight is shining. As the Buddha once said, endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes. That's exactly the spirit of 18, a number for those who don't give up, who carry invisible burdens with grace, and who keep going not because it's easy, but because they're answering a call deeper than logic. Now here's where it gets even more profound. When you combine the digits 1 and 8, you get 9, a number rich in spiritual symbolism. In Buddhist teachings, 9 represents completion, inner growth, and spiritual awakening. It belongs to those who've seen both light and shadow and still choose compassion. Think about that. Have your recent struggles been about failure? Or could they be shaping your awakening? Could the tension you felt be refining you instead of holding you back? During the energetic flow of June, especially as we move closer to the 14th, the number 18 acts like a soft whisper from the universe, reminding you that you're not stuck, you're becoming. This month, try seeing yourself not as behind or lost, but in the process of becoming who you're meant to be. Just like the moon, which is also connected to the number 18 in astrology, your transformation doesn't happen in a burst. It unfolds quietly, phase by phase. So I ask you this: what if your delays aren't detours, but sacred pauses preparing you for the next step? What if the universe isn't punishing you, but positioning you? In many ancient traditions, including Buddhist numerology, 18 is seen as a bridge between the material and the spiritual world, reminding us that true wealth isn't measured by money alone, but by how much strength it takes to face life's storms and still walk forward. This isn't just about getting rich in your bank account, it's about becoming rich in wisdom, patience, and inner peace. So as you walk into this new month, and especially as you reflect on the significance of June 14th, ask yourself, am I aligning with the quiet power of 18? Am I trusting the journey, even when the path isn't clear? Remember, the seeds you plant in persistence grow roots deeper than you can see. Walk mindfully, stay present, and carry the courage to continue. Because the energy of 18 doesn't just promise change, it promises transformation for those who refuse to give up. The universe listens when we listen to wisdom. If you believe in the power of these lucky numbers and Buddhist teachings, comment "rich with wisdom" below. Keep watching. What comes next could change how you see luck, wealth, and your own potential. How to build a harmonious relationship with money. Building a harmonious relationship with money is not about becoming rich or rejecting wealth. It's about changing the mindset around money so it supports inner peace, generosity, and well-being. In Buddhism, money is not seen as good or bad. It is a tool. What matters is how we relate to it. Let's explore this through simple, mindful steps. Number 1. Understand the nature of money. To build a harmonious relationship with money, we must begin by understanding its true nature. Money, much like the changing seasons or the flowing river, is impermanent. It arrives, stays for a while, and eventually departs. When we treat money as something permanent, something to hold tightly with clenched fists, we open the door to fear, greed, and anxiety. Yet, when we swing to the opposite extreme and neglect it altogether, refusing to acknowledge its role in daily life, we invite unnecessary hardship and suffering. The Buddha's teaching of the middle way offers us a timeless guide here. Avoid extremes, neither worship money as a god, nor dismiss it as evil. Let it be what it is, a tool, not a master. The moment we begin to see money as a servant, something we can direct with wisdom and compassion, we begin to break free from its control over our emotions. As the great teacher Ajahn Chah once said, "If you let go a little, you will have a little peace. If you let go a lot, you will have a lot of peace." This applies perfectly to money. When we loosen our grip, not recklessly, but mindfully, we begin to live with more ease. Ask yourself with sincerity, do I see money as my master, something I chase and fear losing, or do I see it as my servant, something that supports my well-being and allows me to support others? In modern life, this question is more vital than ever. Many people live paycheck to paycheck, not just physically, but emotionally, riding the highs of gain and the lows of loss. Social media often pressures us to value material abundance as a sign of personal worth, yet this mindset deepens our suffering. Instead, if we anchor ourselves in awareness, we can develop a relationship with money that is rooted in balance, generosity, and clarity. As the Dalai Lama wisely said, wealth is not about having a lot of money, it is about having a lot of options. To cultivate such wealth, we must first transform our inner relationship with money from fear to understanding, from control to cooperation. Remember, money can be a blessing or a burden, depending on the heart that holds it. By observing our thoughts, practicing gratitude, and being mindful of our financial habits, we begin to untangle the web of attachment and step into a space of freedom. In this way, understanding the nature of money becomes not just a financial lesson, but a spiritual one, a path toward inner peace, wise action, and harmonious living. Number 2. Earn money righteously, right livelihood. Let's talk about something many of us think about every day: money. We earn it, we spend it, and sometimes we stress over it. But have you ever paused to ask yourself, how do I earn my money? And does the way I earn it bring peace to my heart? In Buddhism, one of the key teachings on the path to a peaceful life is the concept of right livelihood, part of the Noble Eightfold Path. This teaching reminds us that not all jobs are equal when it comes to our inner well-being. Right livelihood means earning money in a way that does not harm others, directly or indirectly. It's about choosing work that supports life, is honest, and contributes positively to the world around us. So take a moment and ask yourself, does my work align with my values? Am I truly proud of the way I make my living? When we earn money through deceit, manipulation, or by causing suffering, whether to people, animals, or the planet, there's often a quiet discomfort that lingers in the background of our lives. It may not always scream loudly, but it quietly steals our inner peace. On the other hand, when our income comes from a place of honesty, kindness, and service, it nourishes not just our bank accounts, but our hearts as well. The Buddha didn't teach that money is bad. Money is a tool. It can build schools, feed families, support communities, and create beautiful lives. But the way we get it matters deeply. So ask yourself honestly, not with guilt, but with gentle curiosity. Is my job helping the world in some small way, or is it taking something from it? Some professions might look successful on the outside, but if they require us to lie, harm, or manipulate, that success is hollow. True wealth comes when your work brings you peace of mind, and you can look someone in the eye and say, yes, I earned this the right way. And if your current job doesn't align with your values, that doesn't mean you have to quit overnight. But it might be the right time to start reflecting on how you can move towards something more wholesome. What small step could you take today toward a livelihood that honors both your needs and your values? Building a harmonious relationship with money starts by looking within. Are you using your skills to uplift others? Are you choosing honesty over shortcuts? These questions matter because peace isn't found in the number of digits in your bank account. It's found in how you feel when you lay your head down at night. The world doesn't just need more successful people. It needs more people who are kind, ethical, and grounded in values. That's the real wealth we're all capable of building. Key takeaway: earn money in a way that brings peace to both your heart and the world. Choose a path that reflects your integrity, supports life, and aligns with your deeper values. This is right livelihood own of the most powerful steps toward building not just a better relationship with money, but a more meaningful life. Number 3. Practice mindful spending. Let's take a moment to look deeply into the way we spend money, because how we spend is often a mirror reflecting the state of our inner world. In Buddhism, we're taught that suffering often arises not from what we have or don't have, but from the grasping, the attachment, the craving, the fear of losing or not getting. So when it comes to spending, the key question is not what you buy, but why you're buying it. Are you making this purchase because it brings true value and supports your well-being? Or is it a reaction to anxiety, boredom, or the urge to fill an emotional gap? Mindful spending invites you to slow down, pause before you act, and listen to what your heart is really asking for. You see, money isn't just a tool, it's also energy. And how you choose to direct that energy shapes your life, your peace of mind, and even the world around you. When we spend without awareness, it's easy to fall into patterns of excess, clutter, and discontent. But when we spend mindfully, each transaction becomes an act of intention and clarity. The Buddha once said, "Just as a flower does not pick and choose the bees that come to it, be open and watchful, but do not cling." In the same way, you can observe your financial urges without needing to act on them. You can train yourself to respond with wisdom rather than react out of habit. So the next time you're about to tap your card or click buy now, gently ask yourself, is this purchase nourishing my peace, or is it just feeding my desire? And what does this choice say about the kind of life you are building? When we ask questions like this, we begin to rewire the way we relate to money, not as something that controls us, but as something we skillfully guide with awareness. Can you recall a recent time when you bought something you didn't really need? What feeling were you chasing in that moment? By exploring these moments honestly and without judgment, you begin to understand your deeper patterns. And from that understanding, real change is possible. true wealth isn't in what we possess, it's in how peacefully we live. You're not just watching, you're beginning a new way of relating to money with clarity and peace. Type mindful wealth in the comments to honor your journey toward financial harmony. Keep watching, there's more wisdom ahead that could shift your entire relationship with abundance. Number 4. Be grateful and content. In the journey to build a harmonious relationship with money, one of the most overlooked yet profoundly transformative practices is cultivating gratitude and contentment, what Buddhism calls santuti. This gentle principle teaches us that true wealth is not measured by accumulation but by appreciation. No matter how much we earn or possess, without inner contentment, we often feel restless and lacking. We chase more, but we rarely feel we have enough. The Buddha once said, "Contentment is the greatest wealth." This simple truth reminds us that when we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have, we begin to experience a deep sense of peace. In today's fast-paced world, where we are constantly bombarded with images of what we should buy, own, or achieve, practicing contentment becomes an act of inner rebellion, a way of reclaiming our own sense of sufficiency and wholeness. One practical way to nurture this mindset is to end each day by reflecting on a single financial blessing, no matter how small. Maybe it's a warm meal shared with loved ones, a utility bill that got paid on time, or simply the fact that we had enough to get through the day. As the poet Melody Beattie wrote, "Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more." These small reflections slowly rewire our thinking and help us see abundance in places we previously overlooked. Contentment doesn't mean giving up ambition or settling for less. It means appreciating the journey and recognizing the value in each step. In this way, money becomes not a source of stress, but a gentle companion on the path of mindful living. And as we grow in gratitude, we naturally become more generous, more compassionate, and more aligned with the flow of life. So in this moment, let's pause, breathe, and give thanks not for the wealth we wish for, but for the quiet richness that already surrounds us. Number 5. Give generously. Let's talk about something deeply spiritual, yet beautifully simple: the power of giving. In a world that constantly tells us to accumulate more wealth, more success, more status, the idea of giving something away can feel almost countercultural. But in Buddhist teachings, generosity, or dana, is not just a noble act, it is a transformative practice that loosens the grip of ego, fear, and attachment. Giving generously is not about how much money you have. It's not reserved for the rich or the philanthropic elite. True generosity begins with the heart, with the intention behind the act. It could be a handful of coins to someone in need, a moment of patience for a friend, or a simple meal shared with love. When you give without expectation, you begin to undo the inner patterns of scarcity and self-centeredness that cause so much suffering. As the Buddha taught, "If you knew what I know about the power of giving, you would not let a single meal pass without sharing it in some way." This quote doesn't just speak about charity, it speaks to the liberation that arises from a spirit of abundance. Because when you give, you're affirming that what you have is enough. You're saying to the universe, "I trust there will be more, and I am not defined by what I possess." Giving is also an act of presence. Have you ever truly paid attention to how your heart feels after giving something meaningfully? That warmth, that lightness, it's not just emotional satisfaction, it's spiritual clarity. You've stepped outside the narrow walls of self-interest and into the vast space of connection and compassion. This type of generosity isn't about changing the world overnight. It's about changing the tone of your heart, moment by moment. So ask yourself, where can I be more generous today? With my time, my resources, my love. It doesn't have to be big to be meaningful. What matters is that it comes from a place of sincerity. By making generosity a daily practice, you begin to rewire your relationship with money and with life itself. You start to see wealth not as something to hoard, but as something to circulate with kindness, intention, and humility. Key message: giving generously isn't just a financial act, it's a spiritual declaration that you are enough, that there is enough, and that love shared is never lost. This is the inner path of Dana, a quiet revolution of the heart that makes room for joy, peace, and deep human connection. Number 6. Release fear around money. Let's talk about something many of us silently struggle with: fear around money. It's a fear that can quietly sit in the background of our lives, whispering doubts like, what if I don't have enough? Or, what if I lose everything I've worked for? That kind of fear can be deeply rooted, often passed down through generations, or shaped by past hardships and uncertain times. But here's a simple truth. Fear of not having enough often gives birth to greed. And greed, even when subtle, leads to suffering not just for ourselves, but for others too. It keeps us in a cycle of wanting, comparing, clinging, and never feeling truly content. When we constantly chase more out of fear, we lose sight of what we already have. So, how do we shift this mindset? Start by gently trusting in your own ability to meet life's needs, not by clinging or obsessing over every dollar, but by cultivating confidence in your skills, your resilience, and in the natural flow of life. You might ask yourself, what am I truly afraid of when it comes to money? And is that fear helping me or holding me back? Fear can cloud your vision, but trust clears the path. Letting go of the belief that your safety is tied only to your bank account opens space for peace, creativity, and real abundance. When we stop seeing money as a monster or a savior, we can relate to it more peacefully, more wisely. Here's something simple you can do. Take a few quiet moments each day to sit with your breath and say gently to yourself, I have enough, I am safe, I am open to abundance that flows with love. It's not magic, it's a mindset. It invites you to move from fear to trust, from scarcity to sufficiency. And when we feel sufficient, we naturally become more generous, more grounded, and more open-hearted. So what would it feel like to believe, even just for today, that you are already enough and that what you need will find you in time? Let that question sit with you. The lesson here is simple, yet powerful. When you release fear around money, you release yourself from a heavy burden. You begin to see money not as a measure of your worth, but as a tool you can use wisely, kindly, and consciously to support your life and the lives of others. Number 7. Use money for good. Now let's shift our focus outward to the broader impact of how we use money in the world. While generosity begins inside, using money for good asks us to apply that generosity with conscious direction, to align our financial decisions with our deepest values and the needs of others. Money, when handled with mindfulness and compassion, becomes more than a private resource. It becomes a powerful force for healing, upliftment, and transformation. The Buddha taught, generosity brings happiness at every stage of its expression, and that happiness multiplies when we use our money not just to serve ourselves, but to support the greater good. This doesn't mean you need to donate millions or live in poverty. It means making everyday choices that reflect care, helping a friend in need, supporting small ethical businesses over faceless corporations, choosing to fund education, health, or community programs that create lasting impact. It could mean investing in sustainable practices, choosing fair trade, or simply being intentional about where your money goes. Ask yourself, what story is my spending telling about my values? Is it a story of fear and self-protection, or one of compassion and awareness? When we spend with intention, not out of impulse, But with awareness, we infuse our money with purpose. We turn it into a carrier of values, not just a tool for consumption. In Zen, there's a teaching: when you give, forget you have given. When you receive, never forget. This reminds us that using money for good is not about praise or recognition. It's about cultivating humility and letting your actions speak quietly but powerfully. In today's consumer-driven culture, where success is often measured by material possession, using money for good is a radical act. It's saying, I choose to measure wealth not by what I have, but by what I help make possible. When money flows through hands guided by compassion and wisdom, it becomes a bridge, a link between your intentions and the healing of the world. Key message: using money for good is about active, thoughtful direction of your financial energy. It's a conscious way of living that allows your money to reflect your ethics, heal what is broken, and uplift what is sacred. While generosity is the spirit, this is the structure, the real-world expression of inner compassion. As we've seen today, lucky numbers are more than just digits. They're spiritual symbols, each carrying a message of guidance, growth, and inner power. Whether it's the grounded strength of 44, the quiet intuition of 11, or the perseverance of 18, these numbers speak to the parts of us ready for change and alignment. But remember, real wealth begins within through mindful choices, peaceful intentions, and living with compassion. Let these teachings guide not just your fortune, but your freedom. If this video brought you insight or inspiration, please take a moment to like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming teachings. Until next time, walk gently, live mindfully, and may wisdom lead your way.